Hello there, friends, and welcome to my channel again, where I am doing another Warrior Cats thing. Hopefully I follow through with this one this time. It's one of those, like, hey, this is my clan from the Clangen game, we're gonna do a drawing for every year that they exist. I want to at least get to 3 of them. Where, like, we have year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3. That would be great. So that's like 4 videos. I'm trying to make this as fast as I can. Like, I want to make the characters in bust shots rather than, like, full-on drawings of the cats. But it's not meant to be pretty and stuff. It's gonna be a little sloppy. But I keep seeing videos of people doing this, and it's like, this would be cool as heck to try. I would love to try this. And as you can see by the background, I am making this clan into the new tide pools thing, which is very cool. Because I always found tide pools interesting. So, the idea for this clan, we're just going to jump right into it. The idea for this clan is that they're actually, Mossyclan, that's the name of them. Mossyclan is just a group of kitty pets that got hyped up about clan life by an older cat that had gotten captured by 2 legs, which really was, like, the humans taking them, oh, you poor thing, and then, like, the cat got really good with the foster kittens, and so the person doing the fostering kept them, but for the sake of Warriors lore, this cat got captured, and then just kind of rolled with it. So they're, like, the foster dad, or granddad, to a bunch of cats at once, like all these little kittens, and one of them is Flipstar, who at the time was just Flip. I think that sounds like a kitten name. And the elder Dampbee would just tell her and any other kittens about clan stuff, just as like a cool elder story thing. And she was like so enraptured by this. And so she gets very good at networking, gets very good at like gathering everybody. And eventually, when she's about 33 moons old, which is like a little more than a year, like year and a half, she gathers everyone, and they just bail. And also, there's some event that happens to the people in the world that makes people leave and also get very distracted for like a straight year. So, or more than a year. And I'm not sure on the specifics, but it doesn't affect the cats, but it does affect the humans, because suddenly they just left. Like, didn't have time to grab the cats, and didn't even have time to, like, fix them or anything, sort of left. So they were like, okay, hey, you want to do a clan? And they don't know what they're getting into. Flipstar certainly doesn't. And the other clans are like, ah, God, kitty pets, this is gross. So the other clans were like, hey, you know what? You guys totally know what you're doing. Why don't you go to the tide pools? Which is actually kind of dangerous thinking about it, but they don't know that because they're only kitty pets. And they were just kind of being passive-aggressive about it. And the cats were like, alright, cool, that sounds great. Or some of them probably got the vibe, but for the most part, yeah. Anyway, the rules I am going with in terms of the clan stuff is I'm randomizing relationship values when creating the clan. I'm allowing affairs and mate switches based on relationships, which is like, I think that would make it more interesting for me. And same-sex couples can have kittens, because, one's trans, one's a surrogate, it could work. Like, it could still work. And unmated cats can have offspring at the moment, but if that starts being too overwhelming, I'm just going to turn that off, and also I'm going to turn on, like, the mess thing, the thing that happens, like, when there's a bunch of cats dying off at once thing. I'll save that for when I get more than 2 pages. And there's, like, romantic interactions with former apprentices and mentor and first cousins things like that. Why? I don't like that as an option. That just seems weird. So, that's the little pre-roll. Let's get going on the actual drawings. First off is our Star Clan guide, Dampbee, which is an impressive name. He died at 227 moons. That's about 19 years old. So I'm assuming he was a foster fail for at least 10 years of that. No, probably less than that. But he was the guy who was responsible for creating this clan, indirectly, because he knew clan life for a very long time, and before he still kind of misses it. So he'll just like an elder in a clan, he will just ramble about it, about how great it was, and all the cool stuff that he did. And then, like, the kittens that his humans would foster would hear him talk about this, and, you know, some of them kind of brushed it off, but, like, Flip, who we'll get to next, was so excited about it, and he's the reason that she decided to be the leader of the group. Well, more so, she was the one who, like, helped gather, but he was the one who, like, incited everything, making sure that everyone knew what to do and what the clan stuff was all about. He was already technically an elder when the clan was founded, and he died maybe a few months after everyone had gotten everything settled. Like, you know, Flipstar got her 9 lives, and now he's in StarClan, and he's going to guide everyone he can into there, and yeah, that is Dampby. Next up is Flipstar. She is a young adult female calico with blue eyes. She's responsible and a great speaker. Oh yeah, that's right. Forgot Dampby. Dampby is a senior male who's charismatic and very smart. But we're focusing on Flipstar right now. Her apprentice is Big Paw. She kind of has dumb blonde energy. Like, she is very idealistic, actually kind of naive. Very naive. She has 33 moons, while everyone else is, like, you know, 78, 114, 106. Like, she is the youngest of the adults, and she is leader. She's kind of ditzy. She doesn't really know what she's doing, but she's so excited and happy to finally being able to do what Dampby was talking about, and just, she's so happy. She's very optimistic. Probably gonna have that optimism smashed her in the face or, like, break at some point. But right now, she's just so cheerful. And, like, the other clans look at her and it's like, you're a leader? What? And just don't take her seriously. Which she does kind of take advantage of a little bit, because she knows more than she lets on, but she's also still someone who has only heard stories of being a warrior, not actually doing anything with it. She has a thing where the clan cats, the other clan cats, will, like, give her passive-aggressive, actually kind of insulting remarks, and she'll just look at them, and it's like, yeah, alright, like, takes it at face value, doesn't even question it. Or maybe she does, but doesn't want to let them know that. Either way, I like her, the way I've designed her. She kind of gives off Maine Coon energy, even if all of them are, like, mashups of different cats outside of one that was specifically meant to be a breed coming in later. But she has a very nice design. I think all of the cats that I chose for the clan in this go-around were just pretty looking. Like, I saw Flip, and I was like, you're so pretty, you have to be leader. I didn't even, like, pay attention to the personalities or anything, so that kind of plays into them not being prepared at all. I like her very much. I'm sure she's very big. Or would be very big. Yeah, no, I think she's bigger than most of the cats. Here's to hoping that her optimism and being naive doesn't mess her up too much when things go to heck at some point, and they inevitably will. Hopefully she doesn't break. Next up is Quill Path, the 78-year-old deputy. She is a brown, long-hair single stripe with gray eyes, patient, and an excellent speaker. I think they all kind of have to be excellent speakers to even get in the first place. Or maybe that just rolled, like all of them were excellent speakers. But she is the sense of reason behind Flipstar's impulsiveness. She's constantly having to rein her in, like when the other clan cats try and like lure her into doing something really stupid, and then Quill Path rather is like, okay, actually, Flip, no, don't do that, please. You don't need to do that. But they were very good friends, next door neighbors back in the kitty pet days, and she always found Flipstar's excitability charming, and she was like the first choice to be deputy because, you know, they were friends. And then, like, Quill Path didn't realize just how chaotic Flipstar would be. She's actually a pretty reasonable cat. And I also think she's, like, you know, distantly related to Dampy, being the same color, like, not by, like, direct relationship, but definitely, like, a niece or something. Next up is Rhinoise, not Rhinos, like I thought it was for a second. She is a senior adult female who is a tortie. Nervous, but another great speaker. Like I said, I rolled it like 3 times, and it's with the main 3. And she joined as the medic because she was one of the vet cats, like one of the mascot vet cats that would just constantly be in the area. Like, you know, like the cats that vets will just have in their offices half the time. So she indirectly learned how to do medical stuff. Well, yes and no. She knows how to do procedures and stuff, but when she actually has to explain it, she's like, I honestly don't know. They take, like, blood and, like, put it in a thing and then just dump it into the other animal, or they use giant needles to add stuff to a cat. Like, she gets it, but she doesn't. And, like, with help from other medicine cats in the clan area, she could pretty easily translate the stuff that she knows to the medicine cat stuff. But she wasn't even game for joining any of this. She was like, I'm only joining because you two idiots, you two being Quill Path and Flipstar, are going to hurt yourselves, and I need to make sure that you don't. And now she's just stressed out and still not super into the whole medic thing. She's going to be so even more stressed out as time goes on, I can tell. Like, the only one taking it seriously. Because, like, Flipstar more or less thinks it's a game. Quill Path is someone who, you know, moderately takes it seriously, but doesn't quite understand. None of them do, really, but Rhino so far is actually pretty paranoid about how bad things can go, especially after getting in touch with the other medicine cats and being like, oh, Lord, is this what it actually, the warrior cat thing? Oh, God, the clan things. Next up is Spider Ice. That's a cool name. She's 106 moons, and she's a senior adult. Sokoke. She's a sandy tabby. Pale green eyes. Righteous and a good teacher. I kind of figured, like, she seems like the one that would be one of the barn cats in this bunch, and she is stoic, because, you know, you don't really need to talk much when you're, like, a feral cat. And she took that to heart, so she's just basically my other character, Sandy, but in like, actual warrior cat form. Like, she means well, she just doesn't talk much. She and the next cat coming up, Chestnut Watcher, are barn mates, and she's very protective as well as just being odd. And she was probably a ditch from her owners wanting to get a purebred kitten, but her mom got with a domestic shorthair, and because of that, Spider Ice was ditched because she wasn't purebred. She doesn't really worry about it too much because now she lives in a barn and she likes hunting mice. It's very nice in here. She's protected from the elements. And she also gets to hang out with her buddy Chestnut Watcher. And it's just chill. The clan thing, she was kind of just went with Chestnut Watcher on that. She wasn't really, like, super invested, but just rolled with it. Speaking of Chestnut Watcher, here she is. She's 98 moons, and she's another senior adult that's a long-haired orange tortie. She's adventurous and a good speaker. And remember when I said that this whole clan is full of, like, beautiful cats? She is beautiful. Like, I love her coloring. She's got the cool orange stuff going on. But she and Flipstar are dangerous together. They both have the same energy of, like, hyping each other up and ending up doing really stupid, impulsive things that they don't really think about until later. With Spider Ice being Chestnut Watcher's restraint and Quill Path being Flipstar's. She and Spider Eyes would probably get along really well in that respect. But Chestnut Watcher is very adventurous. She was, like, immediately game for the whole clans thing when Flipstar had come up to her and was like, hey, do you want to build a clan? And immediately was into it, like, just 100% into it. She also had a kit that she also wanted to bring to this thing. And maybe Spider Eyes was reluctant, but then whatever thing that pulled away the humans was starting to affect them because, you know, they were human adjacent in the barn. And they were like, yeah, you know what, this is probably better to do. But she is very excitable, very distracted, and she and Flipstar are, I hate to say it, but they are ADHD buddies. 100%. Same hat. Next up is Don Ripple, who is one of the only adult males at 78 moons. Actually, yeah, the only adult male. And he is Agouti. Basically a cap and saddle tabby with sunlit ice eyes. He is lonesome and a good hunter. And his apprentice is Soropa. And he is... The sunlight ice eyes look very cool, but I took that as that, like, what if he's just blind? But then it's like, what if he's just blind in one eye? That would make more sense. Just some sort of event led to, like, one eye being blind. Although, thinking about it, maybe I do want to make him blind, but... Because, you know, they can function just as well when they're blind, but... I've already made this canon. But he was a bit of a loner. He was the only loner of the group. And then they were like, hey, you want in on this clan thing? And he's a very quiet guy. Like, he and Spider Eyes have silent conversations together. And, you know, like, it's possible because cats mostly talk in body language, but the conversations he has with Spider Eyes are almost entirely silent. But they, like, get each other's vibe. While no one else, at least at the moment, understands how they can communicate so well. He has a nervous apprentice, which is interesting. Outside of that, I don't really have much on him. That's a bit of a problem with most of the cats. I don't have strong backstories for them. I'll just make it up as I go, as things get more interesting. Next up is Stonepaw, who is about to be a warrior. So, technically, the second adult male, but everyone's, like, older, so he's the only young eligible. He would be, like, the youngest eligible bachelor at this point. And he is a cyan-eyed Bengal with medium fur, confident, and we're not sure about the rest of it. And his mentor is Spider Eyes, who he talks her ear off because he's an overconfident little dude in, like, a really obnoxious way. He's one of those young lads that thinks they're hot stuff and just will not shut up about it. But if he were to actually encounter something super dangerous, he would back up and run. Like, he'd be like, oh yeah, I could totally fight off a fox, it's no problem. Look at how strong I am. And then he actually goes to fight the fox and he just runs. And once again, following the trend of these cats are absolutely gorgeous, and he is a pure breed Bengal for sure. Just a little pure breed Bengal that got ditched somehow. A lot of this clan is ditched kitty, like they're either ditched kitty pets or ones that just decided we're gonna leave now, and that was it. So this is Stonepaw. I love his markings. I'm still kind of iffy on the color balance, and maybe in another iteration when I get to year 1, I'll have a better idea of how to color them. But as of now, I like him. I tried to make him a little smaller, and like the apprentices a little smaller in like the baseline cat that I made that you see in every shot. Like I said, going quick and dirty with this, so I'm tracing a cat that I traced from a real cat, just to kind of get the right picture of them. That's it. That's all on this dude. Next up is Big Paw, who is 10 moons old, and a male Sage Eyes Rosette, like basically ash fur colors, with like medium length. He is thoughtful, and that's the only thing that shows off right now. His mentor is Flipstar, and he would have rather had like Spider Ice or Dapple to be his mentor, but she was like, I need to get you out of your shell, because you're a quiet boy, and I think, with my help, you'll be way more animated or something. He's just like, alright. But I don't know what would be funnier, if he actually did turn out being huge, or if he was the smallest cat of the clan. I'll have to see how he turns out later. But he's definitely got the tism. That whole, I don't like talking much, I'm just going to shut down thing. Or he takes after the cats that are feral. Like, either or, one of the two, probably both. And there's not much to say about this guy, because he's just thoughtful, kind of just spaces out constantly. You know, kind of the guy who's constantly got things on his mind, but not in, like, a scared way. Just vibing, just thinking about stuff. Next up is Soropa, who doesn't necessarily say he is also thoughtful. He's a male sage-eyed tabby with long fur. They don't necessarily say he's anxious, but when I was doing the original check to see, like, oh, this is where everyone is, he said, like, he feels like he's losing his mind. So it's like, I'm taking that as he is an anxious boy that just hasn't realized he's an anxious boy yet. Maybe he actually saw what happened to the humans, and it's just doesn't have the words to explain it. Or just got traumatized by the whole experience. Or maybe they're just anxious. They don't like this clan stuff. He overthinks everything. That's about it. That's all I really have on him. I'm going to see how things work out as the clan progresses. And finally, we have the only kit of the clan, Breeze Kit, who I've decided is Chestnut Watcher's new baby. Like, they are 0 moons old. They're a male gray-eyed marble tabby with medium fur. They're polite because they just got born. And you can see here that the cat that I use as the template isn't the best for this kitten, so I was trying to, like, freehand it, figure out, oh, this is how kittens are drawn, right? So I had to Google it, and I looked it up, and now I have a base plate for any newborn kittens that I could use for future kitten drawings that I'll leave in, like, the template for the next go-around. Unfortunately, I got the update right before they added, like, the bumper car potato kittens when they're just born. Like, it's not really a huge loss, and I'm sure there's other updates that got fixed up, but I'll just stick with this clan. I am going to go through all the 3 years, I guess, and then see what happens. But we got a little template, dude. And look at them, they're so little. Probably just, like, hold them in one hand. They're so cute. They have nothing else going on from them. Apparently they're polite, but again, that's because they're just born. I can't wait to see how they turn out in the clan. So that's Mossyclan Year 1. Hopefully I can keep going with this, because I have a habit of getting really invested in something for like a week, or less than that. And if it doesn't go fast enough, then I'm not as into it. But I want to at least see how long I can go with these guys. So I can't make any promises of how long I'm going to actually do this, but 2 years minimum. You know, I want to get to year 1, and then year 2, and then we'll see what happens after that. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching, and for any of you Warriors fans who are following my channel, probably for the other Clan Gen things I did, here's more content for you. Yay! Alright, I'm gonna go now. I'll see y'all later. I got a writing document ready to go to document everything that happens. Let's go. Bye.